David again. Welcome to Bodywork with Bullington. Are you enjoying that, Emmy?
Yes, I am.
Today we're going to talk about medial epicondylitis. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. The history of this with your clients, this is all about the flexors in your forearm here. So you want to ask about any actions that they've been doing that have been flexing on the forearm. Sometimes you can get the pronator teres involved. It's everything that attaches to your medial epicondyle up here. So golfing is the most common sport that this happens in. And then any jobs where people are gripping things, especially like tools, that kind of thing, that's the most common client history that you'll see with this. As far as observation on it, it's not an inflammatory condition, so you're not going to see too much. Palpation, when you're pressing on the attachments here, you're likely to cause pain and tenderness. And then placing the wrist in extension, it stretches everything out and causes some pain. And that can also happen with supination if the pronator is involved, because then as it stretches it out, pulls on the tendon. The muscles in the flexors are likely to be hypertonic with trigger points. As far as our active range of motion, passive range of motion, for your active range of motion, you won't get much pain with the flexion there because you're just not recruiting enough of the muscles to cause that tendon to get pulled on enough. When you put the wrist into flexion here, as they're pulling it back, you can get some pain through there as it stretches out those tendons, and the same with supination. For passive range of motion, you're not going to get any pain when you passively flex their wrist because you're just not pulling on anything. But in the extension, you're more likely to get more pain in there because you're going past what their limit is. And same with the supination, you're a little bit more likely to get some pain in there as you stretch those tendons. Alright, so for our resistance test, come on in, Emmy. The real one here, we've got two, but the main one is our resisted forearm flexion. So just go ahead and make a fist there, and I'm just going to ask her to flex your wrist up while I resist it. And any pain?
No.
Alright. And then the other one is going to be forearm supination. So just grab her hand like a handshake, support her wrist, and then try and turn it this way, and I'm going to resist. Any pain? Mm-mm. All right, looks good. And so those are our two resistance tests. The one special test that we have is called the golfer's elbow test. And it's the same as the resisted flexion, except I'm going to put my thumb on near the tendon. And go ahead. And any pain?
No.
All right, looks good. You don't have golfer's elbow.
Yes.
And the what that does is that increases the load on the tendons, and it just makes it a lot more specific to this condition. As far as treatment, deep longitudinal friction and muscle stripping will help promote your collagen production to repair the tendon. It does take a long time to repair tendons, so it is something that will really help if you can get your client to work on it themselves in their free time to just constantly promote that production. And obviously try and get them to stop doing whatever activity caused it in the first place. That's it. Have fun. Bye-bye.